2025 is already off to an interesting start, to say the least, and nobody could have seen this coming. Or could they? Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere, in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. I hope you all have had a wonderful new year so far. And yeah, 2025 is off to a very interesting start, to say the least. So this was not the video that I had planned for you guys today, but I, like most of y'all, have been watching everything that's been going on in the media and with these press conferences and these dots that are connecting. I just kind of feel like it's something that we should talk about over here. Before we get into it, though, I did want to let you guys know, if you don't already know, hi, my name is Christina. I do have a second channel, which is Casually Christina. We just do things way more casually over there, like really way more casually. I also have a Patreon. My Patreon's for 18 and up, and over there we talk about more personal stuff. We go live over there. There is a $2 tier for all the true crime stuff that cannot go onto YouTube due to their terms and policies. That goes over on my Patreon under the $2 tier. Just make sure you read the full about section and what each tier offers before you join. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I'm also on Like to Know It. And Like to Know It is a platform where you can find links to all the things that you guys ask about or that I use or that I love. Like this table is linked over there. This mirror is linked over there. Lots of stuff, makeup, clothing items, skincare, just about anything that you guys can think about that you ask about. I link that over there. And if you don't see it over there, ask me in the comment section over there, you know what, and then I'll post those things over there as well. So before we get into today's video, I want to let y'all know that I am filming this literally on January 2nd, Thursday afternoon. Everything in this video that I'm going to talk about is subject to change. New information could come out. I am pulling all of my information from very public media news sources that is already out there. And then at the end, I will talk to you more about like what I'm thinking, the dots that are being connected, and all of that. So make sure you stay to the end if you want to hear about that. So this is going to be a bit of a weird video for me to make because on one hand, it's very surprising of what happened on January 1st, okay? But on the other hand, it's not so surprising because of all of the things. Yeah. So I'm sure by now, most of y'all know what happened in New Orleans on January 1st. And I think that y'all probably know also about what happened on January 1st in Las Vegas in front of the Trump Tower with the Cybertruck. Now, I'm not going to go into all the little details about what happened. Again, I'm sure that you guys know, but we're going to talk about the people that were allegedly involved and details about them. So let's first talk about the guy from the New Orleans incident. Shamsuddin Jabbar, 42 years old, U.S. citizen, born in Texas. He was actually an Army vet who spent time as a human resource specialist and also an information technology specialist in the military from March 2007 till January 2015. When he got out from just being in the military, this is when he went in to be an Army Reserve. He was in the Army Reserves as an IT specialist from January 2015 to July of 2020. And yes, he did deploy to Afghanistan from February 2009 to January 2010, and he held the rank of staff sergeant until the end of his service. Georgia State University confirmed that he went to school there from 2015 to 2017, and he did in fact graduate with a bachelor's degree in computer information systems. An article from the campus newspaper that was posted online indicated that his tuition was covered through a GI Bill. And then at some point, he got into real estate. And I'm getting ready to show you guys a video. And I'm going to tell y'all, I was surprised when I saw this. It kind of took me back when I saw him. Check this out.
I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life. with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch.
He seemed to have like a great demeanor. He had a shine about him. He had, to me, life in his eyes. He seemed very ambitious and driven and spoke so eloquently. And I love that when I see that, because I definitely do not speak eloquently. Okay. I just blurt it all out. And it was just like, how did this intelligent, seemingly well accomplished, respected man end up in that white rented Ford, swerving around the police to go headed down the streets in the quarters, doing what he did with a detonator in his truck, where he had previously planted these different homemade, explosives all around, and was planning something very big? How did this guy from this video go to the one that was later laid on the streets by the police? So now let's talk about the situation with the Cybertruck in Las Vegas. So from what we know, the guy that drove the Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas, his name is Matt Livesberger. He was 37 years old and from Colorado Springs. He joined the Army in 2006. And according to his LinkedIn profile, he was a Special Forces soldier and he was Small Unmanned Aircraft Systems qualified, basically implying that he had been trained by the military to fly their drones, which, kind of makes you like, what? With all this drone stuff too, but probably not a connection there, but still, very qualified in all of these different areas. But it didn't just stop there, because Matt joined the Green Beret as a communications specialist in 2006 before he became an operations manager and team sergeant in February 2023. And mind you, Matt was still active duty when he drove that Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower with all of those things in the back of it.
Mind you that the subject inside, his identity and what we believe, but I would like to highlight a couple of things that the teams found inside of the Cybertruck that are useful to the investigation. And that, first and foremost, is a military identification. We also found a passport. We found a Desert Eagle 50 caliber. And if you'll notice on a lot of these that we're going to talk about here, they're almost just burnt beyond recognition as well. Number of fireworks that were still in the vehicle that had to be removed. Notably, we found an iPhone and a smartwatch, and then several credit cards were also in the name of our subject. Now, further complicating this identification of this individual, we also discovered through the coroner's office that the individual had sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the detonation of the vehicle. One of the handguns was found at his feet inside of the vehicle.
Now, authorities are still trying to connect the links, if there are any links, from Matt to Shamsuddin.
I would like to acknowledge a couple of things because I know what's going on in the social media world, and there are a number of things in this case that are similar to the attack in New Orleans. We do know that our subject here served in the military. In fact, he's a current member of the military. Both of the subjects served at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. What we do know about that is it's a very large military base, and we have no record that they served in the same unit or even at the same years at Fort Bragg, something that continues to remain under investigation. I also know that they both served in Afghanistan in 2009. We don't have any evidence that they were in the same province in Afghanistan, the same location, or the same unit. Again, something else that remains under investigation. And we also know, of course, that they both used the rental company Turo to rent their vehicles.
But what are the actual chances? What are the actual chances that these two totally separate guys end up renting these vehicles from the same place, driving to two totally different areas on the same day with close to the same types of incidents happening or looking like to be being planned, both with really impressive resumes doing this. I mean, Matt was 19 years in. He was getting ready to retire. And then if you look at his Facebook profile, it looks like he was a father. A couple of weeks ago, my husband and I watched this interview on the Sean Ryan YouTube channel. Maybe some of y'all have seen it, but Sean Ryan interviewed Sarah Adams. It is actually this video right here. And I am going to encourage y'all, after y'all finish this video, to go and watch that. And I will leave it linked down in the description box. But if you don't know who Sean Ryan is, he is a former U.S. Navy SEAL and a CIA contractor with 14 years of service spanning multiple different combat operations. And he also developed the series to document the untold stories of war, loss, and redemption from the men and women who lived them. Sean enlisted in the military at the age of 18, and he has a plethora of knowledge. And at the same time, he does a lot of really cool and, in my opinion, interesting interviews on his channel as well. I mean, I don't watch all of them, but every now and then a topic catches my eye and I watch it. And my husband and I both watched this interview with Sarah Adams, and it was not only enlightening, but also very concerning at the same time. If you don't know who Sarah Adams is, let me tell y'all who she is. She is an award-winning targeting officer and a global threat advisor with extensive domestic and international experience. Previously, she served as a senior advisor in the U.S. House of Representatives after being recruited as an executive appointment from the Central Intelligence Agency, or also known as the CIA. She is also the author of Benghazi, Know Thy Enemy. I'm telling y'all their credentials because when we talk about what's next, you understand that whether everything that is being said is accurate or is going to happen or whatever, the very least we can all probably agree on is these people are not just pulling information out of thin air. They're both professionals. They're having a professional conversation, and they both have also impressive resumes and should probably be respected to a certain degree. In this specific interview, and mind you, she's done quite a few on this channel and quite a few across YouTube and other platforms as well. She talks about trying to sound the alarm with people in charge here, higher up in our government, about certain plans that is heading for us here in 2025 on the homeland here. Something that we have not experienced in a way that she's saying we are headed to experience here pretty soon. And it's interesting because we just watched this, my husband and I just watched this interview a couple weeks ago, and then literally on January 1st, things seemingly started to happen.
How many people, how many fighters do you think we can expect in each attack?
Well, the 1,000 is all of them. So we're calling it, it's an Al-Qaeda planned attack, but within those 1,000 terrorists, some of them are ISIS because they want ISIS to be blamed. I think the more of the fighter types are going to be ISIS because then if they're caught, then they talk. I think of more of the super are going to be Al-Qaeda.
I think these attacks will happen simultaneously throughout the United States, or will they be one day here, next day here, another one over here next week?
So they want them coordinated. I don't know if coordinated means all at the same time, or if coordinated means we do it Monday, we do it Tuesday, we do it Wednesday, we do it Thursday, we do it Friday, just do 5 straight days. So, but they want it coordinated.
What kind of places do you think they're going to target?
So this is what's complicated. So Al-Qaeda's preference, as you can imagine, is symbols of the U.S. or anything that causes economic damage, right? So capital is a great symbol. I feel like bridges or any kind of public transportation always matters because it puts costs against us and it causes fear. But here's where it gets complicated. So remember, the terrorists might have their goal is they're going to attack the metro in DC, right? But remember, some of these terrorists are going to be ISIS. And remember, they can change location. So the ISIS guy might go down the metro and say, there's not many people down here. I'll kill 20, but there's a event going on. I'm going to go up there, right? And because ISIS is a little different. ISIS just wants mass casualty. In my opinion, terrorists in general just leaving Afghanistan, a lot of them are coming up through the Darien Gap to the border. And there was a big push, right? Get in the U.S. while you can. Now, not all those Al-Qaeda's attackers, right? But they came in with fake Afghan passports. They came in with fake Syrian passports, fake Turkish passports. Those are the kind of the three preferences because they're easiest to get.
And aside from that, just to go back to how bizarre all of this is, there was this post that has been circulating the internet that says, breaking, the suspects in yesterday's attacks on Bourbon Street in New Orleans and Trump Tower in Las Vegas both served at Fort Bragg, the same military base Ryan Ruth visited over 100 times before his attempt on Donald Trump's life. Now, mind you, this guy Ryan was allegedly a huge Trump supporter at one point. But if that's not strange enough, recently, an alleged quote has come out from Matt's family member. I'm going to read this to you. It says, just in, family of accused Trump hotel truck bomber Matthew says he was a big Trump supporter, questions the incident. Odd. The uncle of Matt told The Independent that he is confused by the explosion because his nephew could rig up a you-know-what to blow up half of the hotel if he really wanted to do damage. He used to have all patriotic stuff on Facebook. He was 100% loving the country. He loved Trump. He was always a very, very patriotic soldier, a patriotic American. It's one of the reasons he was in special forces for so many years. It wasn't just one tour of duty. Matt was a very skilled warrior, and he would be able to make it if it was him. And if he did this, he would have been able to make a more sophisticated explosive than using propane tanks and camping fuel. And then there's this post from this guy named Rich who talks about working with the guy from the New Orleans incident and saying about how he was so professional and quiet and he was very disciplined and showed dedication, kind of like the video of him that I showed y'all earlier. And then it makes me think about the Luigi Mangoni situation and the amount of people that spoke out about him, of how he was a leader and he was wonderful. Like, what is happening to these people? There is some strange switch in all of them, and it's very bizarre. It doesn't just seem like disgruntled Americans. There seems like there could possibly be an element there that we cannot see. Now, even with all of that, and again, after you watch this video, I encourage you to go and watch the interview that he did with her. It's very enlightening, okay? Again, and concerning. But what about this situation that happened on January 1st that sends shivers down my spine, other than thinking of the family members and the people that were on the street when this happened and the people that were at the Trump Tower that ended up being injured and taken to the hospital? What sends shivers down my spine is not only what Sarah said, that she fully believes is coming and that she's seen the evidence of what has been being planned, is the fact that these two people, if they're linked, we still don't have confirmation about Matt yet, but I mean, it's pretty weird. A Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower with I mean, it just seems like, okay, but we don't know yet, is that these two people were our own military. So she's talking about 1,500 people coming into the country and planning this at home here on our soil situation, but nobody told us that we had to look out for these people. And mind you, big supporter of the military. Thank you to everybody that has served and is still serving. We love you. You guys are our heroes. We're just talking about these two specifically and what could possibly be going on. I have not heard a single interview where somebody has said that our own people, our own military, could be turned and used against us. During the press conference about the situation in New Orleans, it came out today on Thursday, January 2nd, that there were videos that were found on his Facebook page where he talked about joining ISIS this last summer in 2024. How did he go there? What is going on? I talk about MK Ultra with my family. I know a lot of people think that it's just some sea theory. It's actually not. There are government documents about it. But what is going on?
What the CIA and the Defense Department have been doing for a long time as far as using us as guinea pigs for mind control and other types of horrible things they have in mind for us and the rest of the people in the world. What are some of them?
Well, it started out basically with the CIA doing experimentations on their own men to discover if they could get rid of agents who were going to quit the department and still had classified information. So they utilized different types of drugs and pain and hypnosis and electric shock to try and get the guys to forget. Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MK Ultra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No.
Things are really weird. This situation with Matt, if this wasn't some freak accident, which, come on, you guys, I don't know. I just don't think it is. I don't think it is. How did this guy go from this father, highly successful in the military, probably getting ready to retire, to driving this rental cyber truck to the Trump Towers on this same day? What's going on? And according to Sarah, there are more coming. And this isn't to fearmonger. This is to put the information out there. What do you think? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I am going to leave the GoFundMe links for the families of the people in New Orleans down in the description box. If you can donate and you want to donate, please do. Absolutely devastating. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think they're just one-off incidents? Do you think it's just something that happened and everything else is going to go smooth? Or do you think that Sarah Adams is correct and there is a big plan coming? Let me know what you think down below. Other than that, I love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.